Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It is Friday night, October 27th, about 10:45 Central Time, my time. We are in Week 8. 2 days away from hosting the Rams at noon Central Time, my time, at AT&T Stadium, our house, where we've reeled off 10 in a row. Got 4 things to hit on this video. This is kind of like a pre-game video / some other stuff. First off, guys, if y'all watching this show, have not subscribed to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report, I implore y'all, please hit that red subscribe button. It's free. It costs you nothing. I'm at like around 350 right now. First goal is hit 500, then 1,000. When I do that, guys, this channel will take off like a rocket into space. It will grow exponentially. I'll be able to be putting back in the channel when I hit those goals. Microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, a computer just for this, for film and graphics and whatnot, and a call-in line for live shows. That is essential. It seems like Law Nation's the only one that has a call-in line. I love his show. I love calling in. He was the one that inspired me to do this. I should have started this back in 2007, but I didn't know much about YouTube, let alone I didn't think it was that easy to be able to start your own YouTube show. I'm 37 years old. My first game was Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo. So this seems to work for Mike Fisher. Guys, on the count of 3, if you have not subscribed, I don't have a bell, but if you have not subscribed, guys, on the count of 3, can we do it in unison? Cowboy Nation, my brothers and sisters that bleed the same blood I do, blue and silver. On the count of 3, let's subscribe at the same time. 1, 2, 3, boom. If you did it, you're a real one, and I love you for it. Like Mike Fisher says, that helps beat the algorithms, basically get your video viewed more, get you more face time. On the count of 3, guys, hit that like button. 1, 2, 3, boom. If you did it, you're a real one, and I love you for it. When this channel grows and gets to where it's going, it'll be one of the shows that you look forward to watching, like Law Nation, Chat Sports with Tom Downey, Watch Lombardi, all them top dogs. This show will reach that level, I guarantee you. I've got 30 years of Cowboys, and my entire youth playing the game of football. Love it with a passion. With me, it is God, family, Cowboys. Country comes number 4. It just is what it is. Last thing before I jump into this, I'm seeing a lot of smaller content creators that can edit. Right now it's just my Galaxy and I. And on the bottom of their video, they have their Cash App name. That's how they're doing it now, I guess. In the chat, I'll have my Cash App name. Now, this is serious. It's already like going on week 8. If people donate to this channel seriously via Cash App, seriously donate, after week 18 at Washington, the top 3 donators will get said following prizes, and I am not bullshitting here. First place, you'll get playoff tickets, maximum 3 persons, home or away, don't matter, 50-yard line, medium deck. Second place, 2 jerseys of your choice, any way, shape, kind, or form. Third place, an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card, possibly autographed by that time. If donations are better than expected, then prizes 2 and 3 will be better. But not like top donator is $150. Get playoff tickets. No. If y'all guys seriously donate to this channel, the Cash App name will be in the chat like it is every time. Money sign, uppercase C, lowercase m, 65466. Charles Martinez, very simple. And if you do donate, let me know that it was you and how much, so I can keep a log and be accurate by the end of the season. My prizes are for real. I have a big deposit coming in December. I can swing playoff tickets with no problem, swing 2 jerseys with no problem, and I've got the Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card in my binder I've had since I was a little kid. Alright guys, here we go. Get this. See what's going to go in here? Now, I'm getting it all together, in our new house that we just moved into, we have a big study in the front of the house. Half of it is mine, which is like my man cave area where I'm going to shoot my videos, grow my show. The other half is for the kids, schoolwork, study, books, and all that stuff, whatnot. So I'm going to paint this wall behind me blue with some silver stars on it. And let's get a better view of my backdrop. All right, that's cool. All right, first thing we're going to hit on. The injury report for the game against the Rams. We are 4-2. We want to be 5-2 after 7 games, as we were last season. And as we were the season before that. Safety Wanye Thomas. Who I want to see more of, because every time he's played ball this season, he's played really well. Better than Donovan Wilson, in my opinion. When Donovan Wilson was injured, Wanye Thomas filled in, played excellent. When Wilson came in, looked like the play went down a little bit. He's been battling with hamstring injury, but he's been a full participant in practice all week. He will play Sunday. Tyron Smith on Thursday, he didn't practice Wednesday as veterans, don't look him and Zach Martin or whatnot. Thursday, he gets a neck stinger, Ty Smith. So he was limited, but he also practiced Friday and was limited. So he's listed as questionable. Tyron Smith is more of a probable questionable against the Rams. I believe he will play. I believe we will have our Big 5 for the 3rd time in a row. If I was the Cowboys, I wouldn't even practice Tyron Smith in contact drills. I would just have him do walkthroughs. He doesn't need contact drills in practice. He did training camp. He did all that. So practice, I wouldn't have him do full contact drills at all. I would just have him do walkthroughs. Because him getting injured in practice is stupid. Just like Trayvon Diggs going out in practice was the worst way to go down. If you're going to go down, you want to go down in the game, making a big play. Not breaking up a pass on a one-on-one drill, coming down wrong, tearing the ACL is horrible. But good teams are resilient and can overcome injuries. And since week 1, we have battled injuries all season. Now, besides Trayvon Diggs out for the year, this is as healthy as we've been all year. Now, the Rams, on the other hand, defensive tackle, Laurel Murchison, knee, questionable. The best linebacker, Ernest Jones, knee problem, he's questionable. These are just guys that are worth mentioning. And then right tackle, Rob Havenstein, calf, he is questionable. He did not practice on Thursday. It doesn't say if he practiced today or not. If Rob Havenstein isn't good to go on Sunday, their starting right tackle, then Joan Notebloom will step in at right tackle, and his PFF grade is a 42.1. 42.1. He's not very good, in other words. In other words, you'll be seeing 11 lined up over the right tackle most of the game probably. Him and Tank Lawrence will be just taking turns. They'll have to put a tight end on Notebloom's side almost every play for pass block and run block. Now, our running game coordinator, a lot of people don't know who this is, Jeff Blasco, has returned to the team. He's been gone since week 1, been on leave with family issues that he's had to deal with. He is our running game coordinator. Since 2020, he's been the assistant offensive line coach, promoted to running game coordinator this season. He knows his offensive line better than the new offensive line coach. Always keep forgetting the damn guy's name, the guy that came from Seattle. And Jeff Blasco knows his line, knows his backs. And if anybody can get this running game going the way it should be going, it's this guy. And we're hoping to see that translate on the field this Sunday. Because when you got the starting five of Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele, we should be able to run the ball very effectively every game. I'm talking $150. Biadasz has been banged up all season, which has affected his play. He was alternate Pro Bowl player last season. He's on a contract here this year. He's gotten better every year, so you would think that this year he'd be playing lights out. Hopefully that bye week got him to where he's 100% ready to roll. Our guards, Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, those are super guards. Tyler Smith's run grade is at 91 point something. It's over 91. That is insane. Zach Martin's a little bit low at 75 point whatnot. Tyron Smith and Terrence Steele need to get better, but at run and pass blocking, allowing 5 sacks against the Chargers, unacceptable with that caliber of line. That should be a top 3, top 5 offensive line. So with Jeff Blasco, running game coordinator, coming back into the fold here, that should help the running game, and we will see hopefully instant results of that here on Sunday against the Rams at home, which the last time we lost was in September last season against Tampa, 19-3. Now, this is like the undercard match. This is like our prelim fight for the big fight, which will be at Philly. Keys to victory against the Rams. 3 very simple ones. Number 1, fast start. During the bye week, I really hope Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott had meetings, whether it's virtual or whatnot, and discussed how to get more aggressive and push the ball down the field. I know Mike McCarthy wants to run the ball. That's great and all, but you still need to be able to push the ball downfield. You still need to be able to throw the ball 20 yards, 30 yards down the football field. And we traded for Brandon Cooks for that reason. Now, they're playing 2 deep safeties majority of the time in our first 6 games. So we get that running game going. It'll bring them safeties up. 3 out of the 6 games that we've played, we ran the ball well. I mean, against Arizona, we had like 172 yards on the ground. You wouldn't have known that watching the game because of just how bad it was. 4 linemen starting for the first time. Diggs being out, changed the defensive game plan. I mean, it was just a bad game. Things didn't go well. Shit happens. That's the 49ers. So, number 1, fast start. Fast start meaning we want to see Mike, with help from Brian Schottenheimer, call more aggressive plays, more passes down the field. Get CeeDee Lamb involved early, as we see that is a good thing. And trust Dak. Trust Prescott. He's not the 15 interception quarterback we saw last year. He came back early from a broken thumb that had blatant screws in it. He came back early from that broken thumb because he saw Cooper Rush doing Rush Hour Part 4. And he didn't want controversy. He didn't want talks. He didn't want, the Dak Romo situation happen all over again. But to him, he didn't want to see Cooper Rush, even though they barely lost to Philly, he didn't want to see Cooper Rush go 8-1 if he was out 9 weeks. You know what I mean? Because if you've got a quarterback that goes 8-1, you back up, you might keep him in there. And 7 of those interceptions were on the receivers. They really were. And I've been Dak Prescott's biggest critic since 2019 season. I'm not defending the guy. I'm just stating facts here. Since 2019, I've been his biggest critic because after 2018 season, he got to the playoffs again 2 out of 3 years, won a playoff game, went to the Rams. If Elliott could have got that 4th and 1, we have a good shot at winning that game. We should have signed Dak to a contract right after that game during the offseason. But we don't. We go into 2019, ready to sign the deal. First 3 weeks of the season, Dak Prescott throws parties against the Giants, the Redskins, and the Dolphins. And against the Dolphins, he struggled. It was in the second half. So when he kind of opened it up. So he beats 3 bad teams. And all of a sudden, he rejects the Cowboys' offer and wants more because he thinks he's a top-tier passer all of a sudden. And then on week 4, we go to New Orleans with no Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater's at quarterback. All their offense could put up is 12 points. Dak couldn't eclipse that. All we scored was 10. We lose 10 and 12. We wound up going 8-8 that year. That's when I started becoming Dak's biggest critic. Because he started thinking he was something that he wasn't. Because of those first 3 games against the Giants, Washington, and Miami. He's a good quarterback. But he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not a prolific passer. He's a great game manager that can make the big plays when needed. And he needs to use his legs. Last week, he used his legs 3 times. First time was on a 3rd and 5. Scrambled for 4 yards. Met the linebacker a yard shy of the first down marker. Linebacker went backwards. Dak's big boy. Then the 4th and 1, the RPO that he keeps untouched, outruns the defensive back into the end zone. Beautiful play. Following drive, nobody's open. He scrambles out to the left for 12 yards, first down. If Dak Prescott 3 or 4 times a game will run the ball off script or on script, I mean, it could be RPO or it could just be him coming out of the pocket when nobody's open and running for 10 yards and sliding. If he can do that 4 times a game, that would change the dynamic of this offense because defenses will have to respect his legs again. They haven't respected his legs the last few years. So therefore, they don't worry about it. They can play man coverage on a 3rd and 7. Everybody's back can be to him. And they're not worried about him taking off because he won't. He'll sit in the pocket and try to make that big throw, try to thread the needle to try to be that big prolific passer that he thinks he is. He's not. He can throw some nice balls here and there, but he's not a, on target, drop in the bucket every time guy. He's not a guy that you want threading the needle in between 3 defenders. We saw that last season in certain situations. Good quarterback. Not great. Doesn't have an arm like a Brett Favre or an Aaron Rodgers or a Troy Aikman or a Dan Marino or a Pat Mahomes. Has a good arm but not a great arm. Needs to use his Mississippi State legs. So, fast start. Basically, get out and head. Get an early lead. 7 points, 10 points. Number 2, we're number 1 in pressure rate in the NFL. We get more pressures than anybody in the league. The Rams are 28th when it comes to allowing pressures with the offensive line. So if we can get an early lead, even if it's, 7, 10 points, and we can get the Rams to start to drop back and throw the ball, then we can make it a long day for Matthew Stafford. We did last season in SoFi, beat them 22-10 with Cooper Rush. We can make it a worse game this season because we have Gilmore, we have DeRon Bland, and Jordan Lewis right now in the slot. Can y'all believe that DeRon Bland right now? I apologize. Has the best stats of any cornerback in the league right now. I believe he's ranked number 1. He's allowing quarterback rating of like 23.7 when he's thrown to. He's allowed 0 touchdowns. He has 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups, and 2 picks. 2 touchdowns. So he's allowing around 23 QBR. 121 yards he's allowed. 0 touchdowns. He's got 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups, 2 touchdowns. That is cornerback number 1 type stats right there. It's beautiful. And with Gilmore on the other side, that makes Gilmore's job a lot easier. And he's probably really glad he's got a DeRon Bland to take over for Diggs. And Gilmore's allowing under 50% completion rate, 48.7. The eye test, you would think that he'd been struggling, but apparently he's playing pretty good. He's got 2 picks himself. And number 3, stop the run before it gets started. Stop the run before it gets started. The Rams average 27 carries a game. They average 112 rush yards a game, which is, kind of in the middle of the pack. We do that. We stop the run game before it gets started. So the trio of Cooper Kupp and this rookie phenom, Puka Nacua, and Speed Demon Tutu Atwell don't kill us in the pass game. Even though we could play one-on-one very well, you've got 3 very good receivers that 2 of them are pretty quick. Atwell's got top speed, and the rookie is no slowpoke himself. And Cooper Kupp is just that jitterbug type speed. I mean, caught that quick slant against Diggs last season, took it 75 yards. Outran the entire defense. The white boy. They average 253 pass yards a game. The Rams do. That's number 7 in the NFL. So if we stop the run early, just have them forget about that. Get up on them. 7, 10 points. Stop the run early. Force Stafford into 2nd and 3rd and longs. Then our pass rush will get there, especially if they have Note Bloom starting at right tackle. You do that. And I honestly believe we're looking at our 4th blowout of the season, especially at home. My prediction for this game, my score prediction, guy who commented on my last video that my last prediction was completely wrong when I guaranteed a win over the Niners. That was like a spontaneous guarantee right before the game. I don't even know why I did that. I was wrong, completely wrong, but every other guarantee that I've given before that has been right. I guarantee the Cowboys blow out the Rams on Sunday. My score prediction, 38-3. I don't even think we let them in the end zone. I think this defense, after getting outfoxed by Mike Shanahan, Dan Quinn and this defense wants to be reestablished as the best in the NFL. They see the Browns, do what they did against San Fran. Then the following week allowed 38 against the Colts and Gardner Minshew. They've seen the Jets defense right now start to emerge. They want to be known as the best defense. 38-3 Cowboys. The 5 touchdowns we score, all offense. All offense. More aggressive play calling. The run game's looking good. So we get at least 130 yards rushing. And not just Tony Pollard, not run him into the ground. We want him fresh at the end of the season. We get 40 ounce involved. We get Deuce Vaughn involved. This is what Jeff Blasco will do. He will get these backs involved. We have a running back by committee, and they all have something to bring to the table, something different. I think we'll get 4 takeaways, 5 sacks. So remember these specific predictions, guys. 38-3, final score. Defense gets 4 takeaways, 5 sacks. Let's see how close we get. I don't think we'll get a defensive touchdown. We might, but I would prefer the 5 touchdowns come from the offensive side of the ball. And then Brandon Aubrey will nail another field goal and continue to remain perfect. Now, 4th and last thing, trade talks. Jerry Jones has confused everybody and the Mama, Tupac, and Biggie with the nonsense he's been saying on and off the field, on the radio, at practice, da-da-da-da-da-da. We are willing to trade, da-da-da, but we are not going to make phone calls to trade. We are going to wait for teams to call us to trade, because if you're the one that calls for the trade, then you're at the other team's mercy and you won't get a good deal. So we're going to sit on our throne and wait for all the court gestures to bring us gifts and da-da-da. take what Jerry Jones says with a grain of salt. Don't take it literally. Mike Fisher is the best Jerry Jones interpreter. He can interpret his language as he's been covering the Cowboys for 34 years. I like to watch Mike Fisher in the morning and afternoons or whenever I can catch him. As a kid growing up in the Arlington area, I used to read this column in the Star-Telegram every Monday morning after the Sunday games. I used to love to look forward to that. Now I can actually watch him on his own show, which is pretty cool. I would love to meet him one night whenever he has one of those parties at the Maverick Bar in Frisco. Love to. Now, Brian Broaddus from 105.3 The Fan today said that we are in trade talks for several defensive players, but he's not at liberty to go into specifics or give us names. Now, my first prediction, what I would put money on, is that, our cornerback play is still good, even though who possibly could have been the best corner this year, and Diggs is out for the year. Bland, Gilmore, and Lewis are playing very well, but only problem with that is if one of those guys gets hurt, then we're back to last season, throwing baloney darts against the wall, hoping to get a bullseye. What keeps our defense really good is having good coverage so we can stack the box, load the box, stop the run, get, pressure on the passer, blitz. We got to be able to play man coverage, cover one. Jaylen Johnson for the Bears is in his 4th season. He wasn't the number 1 pick, so this is the last year of his rookie deal. Bears don't seem to want to pay the man. This is why I think he would be the biggest chance, to, of all guys, the most likely to get. And he's balling out this season. His PFF grade's like 84 point something. Kid is very good. He is a shutdown. He is like cornerback number 1 also. We could give the Bears a 2nd-round pick for him. And that gives the Bears more draft capital because they have a 2nd-round pick from Carolina, 1st-round pick from Carolina, and a 3rd, I believe, for this coming draft. So another 2nd would give them 3 seconds. They'd have 2 firsts and 2 thirds. Say we give the Bears a 2nd and maybe Nashawn Wright if they requested. But I think just a 2nd would suffice. A 2nd and say a 2025 6th for cornerback Jaylen Johnson. And in the offseason, we let him walk in free agency. We don't sign him to the big deal that he's going to get somewhere. We let him walk in free agency. We get a 3rd-round pick, comp pick, for that. So we get a 3rd-round pick in the draft next year if we don't re-sign him. So basically, we'd be just making our 2nd-round pick into a 3rd-round pick and getting Jaylen Johnson for the rest of the season. And we would have a strong cornerback room again with Jordan Lewis as cornerback number 4. Jaylen Johnson would be playing outside opposite Gilmore, playing to go back to his slot position. Bland's been playing good on both. And then Jordan Lewis is corner number 4. So whenever teams run 4 receiver sets, we got 4 legit cornerbacks. We can play cover 1 all day. Play man coverage, load the box. I like Jaylen Johnson. We get him, I'm not mad. Not mad at all. Now, these are 3 names of plausible trades. These are not Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, names that ain't going to happen. Or Patrick Surtain Jr., he would be 2 first-round picks and a player. And then maybe some plus some after that. 23 years old, as young as he is, as good as he is, he's too expensive. But they do have a 29-year-old free safety in Justin Simmons, who is a free-range free safety, as good as Kevin Byard, that can ball. Our free safety is Malik Hooker, right? I forgot to look up Malik Hooker's new contract. But last season, Hooker was okay. He played decent at free safety. This season, to me, he's not playing very good at free safety. And if we were to try, and right now, in 2021, Justin Simmons signed a 4-year, $61 million extension with Denver. So this season, his base salary is $14.4 million, a cap hit of $18.15. So you prorate that. If we were to trade for Justin Simmons, he would cost us roughly $10.7 million this season. If we were to trade Malik Hooker and a third, since Denver's in fire sale mode, Justin Simmons is 29 years old. He'll be going on 30. Trade Malik Hooker and a third for Justin Simmons, I believe that deal would go through. And would save Denver money and give us a baller at free safety. The Earl Thomas type free safety we've been wanting for a long time. And you want to talk about playing cover one? You could play cover one all day and have Justin Simmons out there patrolling the backfield and be very comfortable. That will still leave us with Jordan Lewis, Bland, and Gilly. Now, the only thing with that is if one of the three got hurt, you would want it to be Lewis, because that's a slot corner, and Israel Mukuamu showed he could play slot last season. I would like to see the Cowboys put Israel Mukuamu at full-time cornerback. We have plenty of safeties. I mean, we got Donovan Wilson, Javon Curse, Malik Hooker, Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell, who's pretty much a hybrid, and Israel Mukuamu is 6. Put Izzy at full-time cornerback, even if it's in the slot, and see how good he can get, because last season he played very well in the slot at cornerback. So Jordan Lewis were to go down, say the Liz Frank injury flared up again, you could put number 24 in that slot, and most likely your cornerback trio will still be playing at a good level. And then if they run 4s on you, you'd put Nashawn Wright or Eric Scott Jr., on receiver number 4. He's plausible. That could happen. It's a name that has not been brought up either, which I'm very surprised. That would be identically similar to the trade Philly did with Kevin Byard, getting a ball hawking free safety. Justin Simmons was tied with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson last season with most picks at 6. And the kid is a 3-time second-team All-Pro and made the Pro Bowl in 2020. He made second-team All-Pro in 2019, 2021, and last season. So the guy can play. And the guy has picked off Patrick Mahomes more than anybody else in the NFL. And the last defensive player that is attainable and something that the Joneses would do is, since Tampa Bay lost against Buffalo, as we just saw, they're not going nowhere this year. They know that. At 33 years old, Levante David, signed a 1-year deal with Tampa to stay in Tampa. His cap hit is a little under $2 million, and he is still a top 5 linebacker. Right now, PFF ranks the top 5 linebackers as Fred Warner, number 1, number 2, Roquan Smith, number 3, Demario Davis, number 4, Matt Milano, number 5, Levante David. You want a linebacker to be beside Damone Clark or Marquise Bell and stop them run fits, know where the running back's going, an experienced guy that can still ball at the highest level, Levante David be your man. Not Devin White. I don't think he's that good. I think he's overrated. And he's younger. Tampa probably want to keep him. But Levante David at 33, I'm pretty sure they trade him. Pretty sure. What we have to give, I don't think it'd be much. Shoot, probably. I don't know if we have a 5th still left. I don't know how many 5ths that we had. A 3rd-round pick would do it for sure. And then if you let him walk in free agency, if he plays another season, your comp pick would be like a 5th-round comp pick we'd get. So if we traded a 3rd, for Levante David, and we let him walk next season, we get a third-round pick, fifth-round pick, compensation pick. Those guys I just mentioned all make big impacts. And there's only one guy on the offensive side of the ball that I'm pretty sure wouldn't be hard to get, and that's Mike Gesicki, the tight end for the Patriots. He used to play for Miami. I mean, he would be an excellent red zone threat at 6'6", 250 pounds. His cap hit this year is about $4.5 million. I mean, we could give a day 3 pick and or Schoon, Hendershot, or Sean McEwen for this guy. He's got a 1-year deal with the Patriots. 28 years old. So, you know, if he had a really good season with us, if we traded for him and he was a difference maker, we'd probably re-sign him in the offseason. But if he were to walk because, you know, Schoonmaker, Hendershot, or McEwen, or the guy that we just signed at tight end is looking good, and Jason Ferguson's looking like he's supposed to, and we let Gesicki walk, then we'd probably get like a 4th-round compensation pick. So that's, you know, a very plausible offensive trade. Now, if we could do 2 trades, if we pull off 2 of them and get Gesicki at tight end and one of these defensive players that we've mentioned, Jaylen Johnson, Justin Simmons, or Levante David, you know, that'd be beautiful. Beautiful. Solid linebacker, stop and run fits, solid free safety, that's a ball hawk, or another good shutdown corner, you know. Team's good as it is. Offense could be really good if the play calling's good. Now that we got Jeff Blasco back, we will see, guys. We went on Sunday. We go to 5-2. Philly will go to Washington. When Washington went to Philly week 4, that game went to overtime. Now I know they say this is a different Philly team than, you know, week 4 when they played them the first time. I don't care. Washington's 3-4. They played Philly tough last season they were the one to give them the first loss. I believe that game is going to be a tight one. And as we all know, Brock Purdy is in concussion protocol. Sam Darnold will start for San Fran. Mike Shanahan's good at, you know, managing quarterbacks, but Sam Darnold, Shanahan got lucky because Brock Purdy was able to handle it. You know, might be a gem. Nick Wright is, you know, predicting his fall, but Cincinnati's coming off a bye week. I know they're going through the Bay Area. Cincinnati's won 3 of the last 4. Very good chance that the Niners lose 3 in a row. And if that happens, they'll drop to 5-3 going into the bye week. What a difference 2 weeks makes, let alone 3. I mean, after the 42-10 roll, them going to 5-0 and us dropping to 3-2, you would not have thought that 2 weeks later we'd both be 2 lost teams. And then Monday night, Detroit plays the Raiders. Detroit probably beat the Raiders and going to the bye week at 6-2. I believe Detroit's bye week is next week, as is San Fran's. And then the following week we play at Philly, which will be another measuring stick game. That game was originally on Sunday night, I believe. It was supposed to be for Sunday night. Now it is 3:25 p.m., you know, the late slot on Sunday. Not the late slot, but the middle slot. Probably be America's Game of the Week because it's on. It'll probably be on Fox, I would assume. I believe, I could have sworn it was on Sunday Night Football. And I can see why they took it down because week 1 we're on Sunday Night Football. Week 5 we're on Sunday Night Football. Week 6 we're on Monday Night Football. So if right after the bye, week 8 we're on Sunday night again, we only have 1 primetime game left. Because as you know, they made a rule because of the Cowboys called the primetime rule. You can only play primetime 5 times in a season. So they're probably saving that Sunday night game for the second matchup when we play Philly at home. And then we got the Thursday night game against Seattle. I think that counts as a primetime game. Which I don't think it should. I think Sunday night, Monday night should count as prime time. Because Thursday night games, if you don't have Prime Video, you can't watch it. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I apologize for the cough. It's part of my Tourette's. It manifests itself in different ways. I'm trying to control that better. I really did have a title for this, I guess. Keys to the Rams victory and trade talks. You know what I mean? I believe we'll make a trade before the deadline. Like Jerry says, deadlines make deals. He likes to do things at the last minute. I prefer he get the guy earlier so he can get in the program and know the game, know our system well enough to go to Philly and play. It's just me, because I know Kevin Byard's going to be on the field week 9 against us. So, or who knows? We might get just blown away and get the Derrick Henry and, you know, get some big name guys. Who knows? All I know is that I'm 80% sure that we're going to trade for at least one guy, and I believe that's going to be Jaylen Johnson, just because of the get back, and the guy is so damn good at corner. You get good corners, man. You got the no-fly zone going on. You know what I mean? Sticky corners with a hell of a pass rush, looking just like the 2015 Bronco defense. Only difference is the 2015 Bronco defense had that defensive nose tackle, Malik Jackson, wrecking shot up the middle. We need Hankins, Mozzie Smith, or Osa. Osa Odighizuwa is having a breakout year in year 3 to really be that force and collapse in the middle of the pocket. Parsons can collapse in the middle of the pocket too. He needs to do more playing and less chirping also. Guys, keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. I went 42 minutes trying to make these videos shorter. Seek him and his righteousness, and everything else will fall into place. All these things will be added unto you. It's my job to spread the word. Guys, please subscribe, like, and share. I cannot reiterate that enough. I'll check y'all guys out on Sunday after the game with my post-game reaction against the Rams. You have a good, safe weekend. And I'll be able to start cutting videos more often, because that's the only way that you can really grow in this, deal, YouTube. And really get this thing going on. Guys, donate. If you do it, anything that you donate will go to the show. Microphone first, studio equipment. Help me get this show off the ground and become one of the premier, channels that y'all look forward to watching. I'm telling y'all, I will give y'all a grade A product, first class content all day, every day. That's it for this episode, guys. Have a great weekend. Charles in Charge is out.